You're watching FISCalTv.
Good afternoon and welcome to FISCalTv. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jim Caselli. On today's show, we have some FISCal Training Center updates, a new FLC commercial, some year-end financial reporting weekend support info, and an interview with Relations Coordinator Trey Mudge. Let's get today's show started with some new and updated training content that's recently been added to the FISCal Learning Center. Job aids and material. FISCal 391B SCO approval of corrections or adjustments to AR deposits remittances has been updated. FISCal 391D SCO approval of AR deposits remittances on AR customer item payments has been updated, and FLC Training Catalog and Descriptions Report is new. Curriculum AM 1001-1002 Creating and Maintaining Assets has been updated. LD 1001 Labor Distribution Functionality has been updated. Videos FISCalTv Episode 43, April 2023, FISCal Learning Center, FISCal Service Center, Customer Impact Committee, Karuna Sharma Relations Coordinator interview is new. FISCalTv Episode 44, May 2023, FLC, ServiceNow Self-Service Portal, Year-End Tips and Tricks, SCO Approval of AR Deposits and Remittances, and year-end close deadlines is new. Have you tried Power BI is new. Link and login information. The FLC is limited to authorized users. Please log in using your FISCal credentials. You can access the FISCal Learning Center at the address on your screen. If you have any questions, please contact the FISCal Client Training section at FISCal Learning Center at fiscal.ca.gov. Now it's time for another commercial from the FLC. Let's watch.
Oh no! What do I do?
Hi, my name is Jessica. I am with the FISCal Learning Center. Now don't you worry, the FISCal Learning Center can help you. The FLC has many year-end close resources, such as the General Ledger reports and the Financial Statements curricula. Both are collections of content, which includes videos, online classes, exercises, and job aids. The Financial Statements curriculum includes contents like producing year-end reports, budgetary legal ledger, also known as BLL, and running year-end close processes.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to share this information with my team.
Remember, the FLC is always here to help you learn and build the confidence you need in using PeopleSoft with FISCal.
Thanks to the FLC for that, and you can watch this commercial again when we post this episode of FISCalTv to our YouTube channel in a couple of days. Now it's time for some year-end close news. To assist departments in meeting the fiscal year 2022-23 year-end financial reporting requirements and deadlines prescribed in the Department of Finance Budget Letter BL23-02 Finance, the State Controller's Office and the Department of FISCal Resources will be available to provide weekend support beginning Saturday, July 8, 2023, from approximately 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. based on need determined by responses to the email sent by the MEC team. Departments who have not closed and completed reconciliations through the month of May 2023 should take advantage of this support and make every effort to meet the deadlines prescribed in BL23-02. Now it's time for another Relations Coordinator interview. Today we have Trey Mudge with us. Let's meet Trey. Trey, good afternoon. Welcome to FISCalTv. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, we always ask our guests to give us a little bit of background before we start the interview. So how about sharing some of your background information with us?
Sure. My first paid job outside of family was when I was 15. I worked at a busboy at a Holiday Inn. You're supposed to be 16, but I lied about the age, but don't tell them. Anyway, so that was my first customer service job. And then a couple of years later, I was hired as a diving instructor, and that was my first training job. And pretty much for the rest of my life, I've been doing service and or training. So here I am at FISCal now.
And you talk about customer service. Of course, part of the Relations Coordinator's duties is to provide good customer service to all of our departments, and I know that you're well known for doing that.
Yeah, that's right. Is that a question?
We can make it a question. How long have you been with? Tell us how long you've been with FISCal.
I'm in my 9th year.
Your 9th year.
I might be my 10th year. Yeah, I think I'm in my 10th year. So I've done 9 years.
You've done 9 years. And I know I started, I think, almost a year after you did. And you've always been such a great source of information for me. And you really helped me in those early days of FISCal, because learning all the acronyms and the departments and the BUs and everything wasn't easy. But not only do you provide good customer service for your departments, but you certainly have been a great help to all the other relation coordinators that we work with. And I know one of your main roles lately has been onboarding. Can you share some information about that?
Sure. Came on with FISCal in July of 2014 and came on as Relations Coordinator, and my primary job was to onboard departments. And so here 9 years later, I am onboarding departments, which I have been my major activity for all those years. So I think we have 152 departments. Out of those, I have helped onboard at least 40. I kind of stopped counting after 40, but I've been involved with the onboarding of at least 40 departments. So that's kind of my history.
And I know that when we were onboarding, I just want to say groups of departments at the same time, there was a lot of different things we had to be concerned with. But now you're onboarding some departments, just one department at a time, but these departments are pretty massive. Can you share some information about that?
Yeah, they were deferred departments. They didn't come on with the main body of departments, which the last main body was in 2018, where, I don't know, we did 40 or 50 departments. I don't know. But now there were some who were deferred for various reasons, and now they're coming on. And it's very fascinating. I mean, they're different departments. They do different things, which is one of the reasons I like this job. It has such diversity of activities, and you learn a lot about, well, finance and other things. And so we're doing, I think, the best job we've ever done. I mean, we've had a lot of lessons learned and just helping them get over the difficulties and trying to make sure everything can work out for them. Been a great effort, and the team has just been really working hard to make this work out for FISCal and for the departments, and it's really a pleasure to be a part of that.
What are some of the biggest challenges when you're onboarding a big department, say like CAL FIRE or some of the other bigger departments?
Well, all departments have different activities of which they're involved, and they do things in a different way. I mean, part of the reason FISCal came into being was departments had so many different programs they were using and doing things in such a different way that they decided, well, let's unify this and have one system be the book of record. And so the difficulty sometimes has been the way they did things and the way FISCal works and trying to make those work out. They have a system of doing something, but that doesn't quite fit the FISCal way. But we always work hard to try to work something out that will work for them and work for FISCal. So that's one of the big challenges now with these other departments. It's still going on, and it takes a lot of work to understand their system very well. We have to understand it very well, and they have to understand ours very well so we can see where they differ and then work together to make it all work out.
And that takes a lot of testing with the interfacing of their system with our system. I know that.
Right.
And also, one of the things that you've done that's been a great help is to sort of standardize the onboarding process with the tasks and what have you, and putting them in a logical order. Can you share a little bit of information about that, how you've gone about doing that?
Yeah, there was an interesting thing that was sort of the practice of each year. You would change the task number of the task. So trying to know what they did earlier was a bit challenging because the task different number was now different. So I just said, well, let's start over and make one task number for one task from here on out. So next year when another department onboards, they'll be using the same task number. So they're easy to search for in our database of tasks, and just keep that regular. So it's just less work for everybody, and we can see what was done before and go forward from there.
And I know I'm onboarding a department, or helping to right now, a smaller department, an offshoot of another department, but having those tasks already pretty much written and in a pretty good order has been a great help and certainly saved a lot of time. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So looking ahead, what do you see as the biggest challenge for us as relations coordinators? Anything?
Well, there are still some pretty large departments out there that will be onboarding in the future, and just learning how those department works and making it all work with FISCal. It's always a challenge, and departments tend to get concerned because it's very important, that their system works right, and we understand that. And sometimes changing can be challenging, and so one has to be willing to change and try to look at another way. But I think that most departments get around that. But sometimes it's like growing pains. It's kind of, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And you'll get a lot of concern about how this will work out, and what about that, and what about this. But going through that, we have established over the years a pretty good process or step-by-step activity. It's called the Master Department Work Plan, which includes all of the tasks necessary to onboard. It's a sort of a tried and true method. And even though departments are different and may need adjustment or may need special workouts, just following that path has proved very successful. And I think the main thing is not to lose the knowledge that's been gathered on onboarding in the future. Just keep, and that's why we have the database and keeping those tasks in a way that people can look back and say, oh, I see how they did it, and then move forward from there.
And I know too that there's a big difference in the timeline for departments. As I said earlier, I'm working with a smaller department now, and we've pretty much taken care of their onboarding in a short period of time, almost 6 weeks, 8 weeks tops. Now, tell us about the time difference in one of the bigger departments.
Well, 152 departments were brought on in a year, which was a pretty amazing thing. It usually took a year. Now we have expanded that. There's a couple departments that are taking a couple of years, and I think we're doing a better job. I mean, we're delving more deeply into their challenges and how do we close those gaps between what they need and what they do, and that's really good, I think. And then we have another department that's really about a 4-year plan, and that also will be a big challenge for them to. They're a big department. They have set procedures, and we need to come to an understanding of how we work and how we can they can do their jobs using FISCal, and we need to understand how they do their things. And that's a long process. It takes a lot of understanding and meetings and demonstrations. But so it's longer, but it is more thorough, and I think it will result in an easier transition overall.
Yeah, quite a difference between 6 to 8 weeks as opposed to 4 years, 2 to 4 years.
Yeah. The shorter ones tend to, they don't have, there's some tend to be new departments, so they don't have a lot of data they have to transfer over, and they don't have a lot of old practices they kind of have to adjust or get rid of to do FISCal. I mean, so they're a little bit easier, and they're fewer people, and so they can be done in a shorter time, even though, 3 or 4 months is not a long time even for them to get on board, but it's been done, and we're doing it.
Yeah, doing it and doing a good job. And a lot of that is thanks to you. So I'm sure the departments appreciate your help. I know I do, and I know the other RCs do as well. So thank you very much for being with us today and sharing your background and your knowledge. And look forward to working with you soon, like we always do.
Sure. Be happy to carry on with what we're doing, and I'll see you around.
All right, Trey, thanks very much. That's our show for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see this or any of our FISCalTv episodes, you can find them on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to let your colleagues know about us. And from everyone here at FISCalTv, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you in July.